हेलो माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, आई एम दीपक वंजानी, फैकल्टी ऑफ फिजिक्स। स्टैंडर्ड 11 में मैं आपका स्वागत करता हूँ। आज स्टैंडर्ड 11 में मैं स्टार्ट करने जा रहा हूँ चैप्टर नंबर 1 फिजिकल वर्ल्ड। ओके, व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी इन दिस चैप्टर। इस चैप्टर में हम क्या पढ़ें? इन दिस चैप्टर वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी अबाउट व्हाट इज़ फिजिक्स, व्हाट इज़ द यूज़ ऑफ फिजिक्स, and what we are going to study in standard 11 and 12 in physics. So these things I am going to discuss in this chapter. So let us start with first thing, what is physics. Physics क्या होता है? Physics पे आऊँ उससे पहले मैं आता हूँ साइंस पे. What is science? Okay. आप लोगों ने साइंस लिया है तो आपको मालूम होना चाहिए कि साइंस क्या है. The word science came from one Latin verb and its meaning is to know. So meaning of science is to know. The systematic attempt made to understand natural phenomena in as much detail and depth as possible is called science. What is science? Science is attempt to study natural phenomena in as much detail and depth as possible. Science is exploring, experimenting and predicting what we see around us. जो भी दिख रहा है उसके बारे में सोचना, प्रेडिक्ट करना, एक्सपेरिमेंट करना, कंक्लूजन लाना, लॉस बनाना, थियरी बनाना, दैट इज साइंस. सो साइंस इज एक्सप्लोरिंग, एक्सपेरिमेंटिंग and predicting what we see around us. Science that is dynamic. What is the meaning of dynamic? Dynamic means not stable, not stationary. Here none of the theory in science is fixed. जैसे जैसे इन्वेंशन होते जाएंगे, जैसे जैसे कोई नई चीज़ें आएंगी तो उसे उस थियरी में इंक्लूड करना पड़ेगा. एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू न्यू इन्वेंशन, इफ ओल्ड थिंग्स some corrections are required, then we have to make that corrections. So modifications are required in each and every theory of science. For example, according to Nicolaus Copernicus, Sun is at the center of universe and all the planets move in circular orbit, according to Nicolaus Copernicus. But after examining each and every data in detail about planetary motion, John Kepler said that all the planets move in elliptical orbit. All the planets move in elliptical orbit with Sun situated at one of the focus. According to Nicolaus Copernicus, Sun is at the center of the solar system and all the planets are revolving in circular motion. But here according to Kepler, all the planets move in elliptical orbit with Sun situated at one of the focus. So now we consider that all the planets move in elliptical orbit with Sun situated at one of the focus. So some modifications are required in theory according to new inventions. Physics. अब आता हूँ मैं फिजिक्स के ऊपर. What is physics? Physics is one Greek word and its meaning is nature. Physics is Greek word and its meaning is nature. Physics is the study of the basic laws of nature. Whatever is happening around us, moon is revolving around the earth, all the planets are revolving around the sun. Whenever we are considering motion of any car, tides, whatever thing is happening, study of the basic laws of nature is nothing but physics and their manifestation in different natural phenomena. In physics, basically we are going to focus on these two things, unification and reduction. These two things are important in physics: unification and reduction. What is unification? For different problems, if we can apply one phenomena or one law, then that is called unification. For example, Newton's universal law of gravitation is applicable to this problem: fall of an apple to the ground. Universal law of gravitation is applicable to motion of moon around the earth. We can study motion of moon around the earth using this Newton's universal law of gravitation. Motion of planets around the sun can be studied using this law, Newton's universal law of gravitation. So for different problems, we can apply this single law, Newton's universal law of gravitation. This is called unification. For different problems, if we can apply single phenomena or single law, then that is called unification. One more example, Maxwell's equation. Maxwell gave total 4 equations, and using that 4 equations, we can study electric phenomena as well as magnetic phenomena. And these equations are applicable to optics also. So electric phenomena and magnetic phenomena can be understood using this Maxwell's equation, Maxwell's 4 equations. So this is called unification. फिर से एक बार आ जाता हूँ. पहले हम क्या बोले? Science. The science word came from one Latin verb and its meaning is to know. Science is exploring, experimenting and predicting what we see around us. जो भी दिख रहा है उसके बारे में सोचो, एक्सपेरिमेंट करो, कंक्लूजन लाओ, कोई फेनोमेना या लॉ बनाओ. दैट इज साइंस. साइंस दैट इज डायनेमिक. None of the theory in science is fixed. Modifications are required. Here I have taken the example of planetary motion, planetary model. According to Nicolaus Copernicus, Sun is at the center of the solar system, but according to John Kepler, all the planets are revolving in elliptical orbit with Sun situated at one of the focus. After that, we have studied about physics. What is the meaning of physics? Nature. Physics is the study of the basic laws of nature. In physics, we have to focus on these two things: unification and reduction. Unification, as I told you, for different problems, if we can apply single law or single phenomena, then that is called unification. मतलब चीज़ें आसान हो जाएंगी. अगर काफ़ी सारी प्रॉब्लम को एक ही लॉ से सॉल्व किया जाए, अगर एक ही फेनोमेना से सॉल्व किया जाए, तो यूनिफिकेशन, यूनिफाई करना, बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम के लिए एक ही हल निकालना, यूनिफिकेशन. न्यूटन्स यूनिवर्सल लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटेशन इज एप्लीकेबल टू दिस प्रॉब्लम, फॉल ऑफ एन एप्पल टू द ग्राउंड. आपको याद होगा, एज वी नो, व्हेन एप्पल फेल ऑन Newton when he was sitting under the tree, at that time he thought about the gravity and he gave this law, Newton's universal law of gravitation. So this Newton's universal law of gravitation is applicable to freely falling object. This is applicable to motion of moon around the earth. This is applicable to motion of planets around the sun. Whenever we are studying about motion of planets around sun, whenever we are studying about satellites revolving around the earth or different planets, at that time we can apply this law, Newton's universal law of gravitation. So in many problems we can apply this Newton's universal law of gravitation. Maxwell's equation gives idea about electric phenomena and magnetic phenomena both. So these equations unify these two things, electric phenomena and magnetic phenomena. These two phenomena can be solved using these 4 equations, Maxwell's 4 equations. So this thing is called unification. Now we will study about reduction. After unification, आइए देखते हैं reduction. To derive the properties of bigger and more complex system. What does it mean? If we consider bigger system, bulk system, if the system is complex and if we want to derive the laws or if we want to obtain equations related to it, then what should we do? Then we should focus on constituent simpler parts. constituent simpler parts means what? If you are considering, if you want to study the mechanism of any machine, then first of all you should study about the parts of that machine. For example, when we are considering engine, at that time we should focus on piston, working substance, fuel, source of energy, etc. So if these things are clear to you, then easily we can understand the working of any complex system. So we should focus on constituent simpler parts. For example, in standard 10 you have studied about generator. In generator what we consider? We consider coil, magnets, slip rings, etc. If the working of coil, that is armature, magnet, what is the necessity of magnet, what is the necessity of slip ring, if these things are clear to you, then easily we can explain the working of generator. If the phenomena related to its part are clear, then we can generate different devices also. So reduction is very important thing. Whenever we are dealing with bigger and more complex system, at that time first of all we should focus on constituent simpler parts. For example, in thermodynamics we will talk about temperature, internal energy, entropy, etc. But to study this, first of all we should focus on constituent particles, that is molecules. If the behavior of molecules, properties of molecules are clear to us, then easily we can understand the phenomena like temperature, internal energy, entropy, etc. So reduction is the important thing. In physics we have to focus on two things, unification and reduction. थियरी यहाँ लो जो बनाया है, अगर उसे यूनिफाई किया जाए, बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम पे अप्लाई किया जा सके तो बहुत ही बढ़िया है. रिडक्शन, अगर कोई बड़ी सिस्टम है, कॉम्प्लेक्स सिस्टम है, उसे समझने के लिए उसके पार्ट्स के बारे में पहले जानकारी हासिल की जाए तो हमारे लिए वो चीज़ें आसान हो जाती हैं. तो जब भी कोई थियरी का कोई इन्वेंशन होता है तो ये दो चीज़ों पे फोकस किया जाता है, यूनिफिकेशन एंड रिडक्शन. ओके, नेक्स्ट टॉपिक दैट इज स्कोप एंड एक्साइटमेंट ऑफ फिजिक्स. फर्स्ट आई विल टॉक अबाउट स्कोप ऑफ फिजिक्स. What is the meaning of this? It means in standard 11 and 12 what we are going to study in physics, क्या क्या पढ़ने वाले हैं फिजिक्स में, वो पूरा का पूरा आ जाएगा स्कोप ऑफ फिजिक्स में. तो इसे मैंने डिवाइड किया है दो चीज़ों में, मैक्रोस्कोपिक डोमेन्स एंड माइक्रोस्कोपिक डोमेन्स. व्हाट इज मैक्रोस्कोपिक डोमेन? दैट इज नथिंग बट फेनोमेना एट द लार्ज स्केल. मैक्रोस्कोपिक का मतलब ही क्या हो, जब लार्ज स्केल पे बात करेंगे, बड़ी चीज़ों पे बात करेंगे, दैट इज मैक्रोस्कोपिक डोमेन्स. माइक्रोस्कोपिक डोमेन्स मीन्स फेनोमेना एट द स्मॉल स्केल. छोटी छोटी चीज़ें जैसे मॉलिक्यूल हो गया, एटम हो गया, न्यूक्लियर हो गया, ठीक है, ऐसी चीज़ों पे फोकस करेंगे तो क्या हो गया, माइक्रोस्कोपिक. तो ये है डिफरेंस मैक्रोस्कोपिक और माइक्रोस्कोपिक में. Phenomena at large scale, that is macroscopic domain, and phenomena at small scale, that is microscopic domain. Okay. Physics is divided into two parts. First, that is classical physics, and second, that is quantum physics. In classical physics, mainly we are going to deal with macroscopic phenomena. Okay. What is there in classical physics? In classical physics we are going to study about mechanics, electrodynamics, optics and thermodynamics. तो क्लासिकल फिजिक्स में क्या इंक्लूड किया गया है, मैकेनिक्स, पूरा का पूरा स्टैंडर्ड 11 में पार्ट 1 जो है दैट इज नथिंग बट मैकेनिक्स. इलेक्ट्रोडायनेमिक्स, अबाउट इलेक्ट्रोडायनेमिक्स वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी इन स्टैंडर्ड 12. स्टैंडर्ड 12 में पूरा पार्ट 1 जो है वो इलेक्ट्रोडायनेमिक्स. ऑप्टिक्स दैट इज नथिंग बट फेनोमेना रिलेटेड टू लाइट, एंड अबाउट ऑप्टिक्स वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी इन स्टैंडर्ड 12 इन डिटेल। आप लोगों ने स्टैंडर्ड 10 में भी पढ़ा हुआ है ऑप्टिक्स के बारे में, रिफ्लेक्शन, रिफ्रैक्शन, अबाउट लेंस, मिरर एक्सेट्रा। थर्मोडायनेमिक्स, दिस थर्मोडायनेमिक्स is the branch of physics which we are going to study in standard 11 only in part 2. Okay. अब बात करते हैं मैकेनिक्स। क्या क्या इंक्लूड किया गया है मैकेनिक्स में? मोशन, किसी भी तरह का मोशन कंसीडर कर रहे हैं, दैट इज इंक्लूडेड इन मैकेनिक्स। मोशन इन स्ट्रेट लाइन, मोशन इन अ प्लेन, दैट इज इंक्लूडेड इन मैकेनिक्स। ये चीज़ें आ जाएंगी आपका चैप्टर नंबर 3, चैप्टर नंबर 4 ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड 11, दैट इज इंक्लूडेड इन मैकेनिक्स। नेक्स्ट, दैट इज न्यूटन लॉज ऑफ मोशन। दिस इज द 5th चैप्टर ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड 11, लॉज ऑफ मोशन। टोटल देर आर 3 laws of motion: Newton's first law of motion, second law of motion and third law of motion, that we will study in chapter number 5. After that we are going to study about rigid and deformable bodies. We will study about rigid bodies and deformable bodies. After that we will study about general system of particles in chapter number 9 and chapter number 10. In that we are going to study about general properties of solid and fluids. Then in chapter number 15 we are going to study about oscillatory motion and wave mechanics. Oscillatory motion में क्या आएगा? Oscillation, that is nothing but simple pendulum. आपको लोगों को मालूम होगा simple pendulum, that is nothing but perfect example of oscillation. Then we are going to study about wave mechanics. Wave mechanics, when we are considering the propagation of sound, that is included in wave mechanics, that is mechanical wave, so that is also included in mechanics. All these things, gravitation, that is chapter number 8 of standard 11. Okay, about gravity we are going to study. All these things we are going to study in standard 11 only. ये सारी चीज़ें मैकेनिक्स पूरा आ गया हमारा स्टैंडर्ड 11. ऑल दिस थिंग्स वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी इन डिटेल. पूरे के पूरे चैप्टर दिए हुए हैं, ये सारी चीज़ें हम डिटेल में पढ़ने वाले हैं. सेकंड थिंग, इलेक्ट्रोडायनेमिक्स. क्या है? इलेक्ट्रोडायनेमिक्स. इलेक्ट्रोडायनेमिक्स में फर्स्ट वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी अबाउट चार्ज. स्टैंडर्ड 12 में आएगा. वी विल स्टडी अबाउट इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज. शायद आपने स्टैंडर्ड 10 में भी पढ़ा होगा इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज के बारे में. देन वी विल स्टडी अबाउट इलेक्ट्रिक करंट. व्हेन चार्जेस आर इन मोशन एट दैट टाइम करंट विल बी कंस्टिट्यूटेड. देन वी विल स्टडी अबाउट मैग्नेटिक फील्ड. whenever charges are in motion at that time magnetic field is produced, and here this is nothing but electromagnetic induction. In short we can write EMI, electromagnetic induction. Here this current is DC current. पहले आया था DC करंट, डायरेक्ट करंट बोला जाता है इसे. And here after the discovery of EMI we got new current, that is AC current, that is called alternating current. जो भी हमें टोरेंट पावर सप्लाई कर रहा है वो कौन सा करंट है? AC करंट. और जो बैटरी से मिलता है वो कौन सा करंट होता है? DC, डायरेक्ट करंट. देन वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी अबाउट AC करंट. इन इलेक्ट्रोडायनेमिक्स वी विल स्टडी अबाउट DC एंड AC करंट. देन वर्किंग ऑफ एन एंटेना. whatever wireless communication is possible, that is nothing but because of this working of an antenna. आप जो वाईफाई यूज़ कर रहे हो, वायरलेस कनेक्शन, ब्लूटूथ यूज़ किया जाता है, राइट? दैट इज नथिंग बट पॉसिबल बिकॉज ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन सिस्टम that is included in electrodynamics. Now we are going to discuss about optics and thermodynamics. अब इसके बाद हम डिस्कस करेंगे ऑप्टिक्स और थर्मोडायनेमिक्स. Okay, now third branch in classical physics, that is optics. Optics, in optics we are going to study about the phenomena related to light, then about telescopes, microscope, colors exhibited by thin films, etc. About optics You have already studied in standard 10 about telescopes, microscope, reflection, refraction, dispersion, etc. But all these things we are going to study in detail in standard 12. Fourth, that is thermodynamics. In thermodynamics, we are going to deal with macroscopic equilibrium, and in that we are going to discuss about change in internal energy, temperature, entropy, heat engine, refrigerator, etc. About diesel engines, petrol engine, etc. we are going to discuss in thermodynamics. Okay. Now, as I told you, this physics is divided into two parts: classical physics and quantum physics. This is modern physics. And here in quantum physics, we are going to deal with microscopic phenomena. It means microscopic phenomena are related, that is phenomena at small scale. In quantum physics, we will study about atoms, nuclei, electrons, photons, semiconductors, etc. But about atoms, nuclei, photons, electrons, semiconductors we will study in standard 12. क्वांटम फिजिक्स स्टैंडर्ड 11 में आने वाला नहीं है, ये सारे के सारे टॉपिक हमारे स्टैंडर्ड 12 में है। तो हम स्टैंडर्ड 11 में पढ़ने वाले हैं क्लासिकल फिजिक्स, और क्लासिकल फिजिक्स में भी हम डिटेल में पढ़ने वाले हैं मैकेनिक्स हम डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे, थर्मोडायनेमिक्स हम पढ़ने वाले हैं. सो दिस थिंग्स वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी इन स्टैंडर्ड 11 एंड इलेक्ट्रोडायनेमिक्स एंड ऑप्टिक्स we will study in standard 12, and quantum physics also we are going to study in standard 12. Okay, so today we have studied about what is science, what is physics. Then in physics we have to focus on two things: unification and reduction. After that we have discussed about scope and excitement of physics. First of all, scope of physics, that is, in that we are going to deal with macroscopic and microscopic domain. Physics is divided into two parts: classical physics and quantum physics. In classical physics there are four branches: mechanics, electrodynamics, optics, thermodynamics. We have already studied about all these things. We are going to study in detail. After that, next, that is quantum physics: atoms, nuclei, electrons, photons, semiconductors, etc. that we will study in standard 12. Now in next lecture we will discuss about excitement of physics. Thank you.